you hear me clearly, right? I said, well, what's going on? So I got up. I've been taught to write down things when you're dreaming when they're clear. So I wrote down, level up. So then I wrote down, level out. So we get an announcement from our church every Sunday to be safe. Safe travel on in the industry. I have two gentlemen that I would like to bring up to you. I have Mr. Charles Watson, who is all across the country. Charles is doing the video now, so let's wave at Charles. Yes, this gentleman, Mr. Charles Watson, he's been in the service for over 22 years, retired. He's a gentleman that got the Army people from one spot to the next safely. So when he said that, when I heard that about, I said, well, he's going to get me across safely. Okay. Then there's Mr. Crump. Mr. Crump, I met him maybe about 5 years ago. And we were in another business together. And we happened to walk into the same event, venue. And he stepped back. He asked the gentleman, he said, are you dealing with this lady here? He said, yes. He said, well, she'll take care of you. And so I was asked, what made you stay with Mr. Trump? I said, integrity. When you have someone that you can not have to worry, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean, right? So Mr. Crump, we just did an event in Atlanta, talking about fantastic. We did a gala, it was top. We did a run. I was running and walking. A lady wanted to turn around. I said, no, I have to carry you on my neck because we got a reason why we're here. We have a reason. So let's give Mr. Crump a standing. Let's stand up. This is a gentleman that has come up with something. This is very simple. He is the CEO of Jewel 6
Well, first of all, Detroit, it's good to be back here again. You know, I'm really thankful, and I'm thankful for everybody that came to our gala weekend. I'm quite sure you guys had a good time with your gowns and your tuxedos on in Atlanta. We had a full house of 700 people, and we had 300 people trying to get in. It was packed to capacity. Everybody's been asking when it's going to be the next one. We did a live concert for everybody. We wanted to show them a level of class and how we operate and what they can expect moving forward. I'm going to dive right in. Detroit, obviously, this is not my first time being here. You know, we've been on a Midwest tour. Last night we was in Chicago. We've been in Gary, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana. When we leave here tomorrow, we'll be in Dayton, Ohio. So if you see something you like, you can let individuals know in those areas to come on out to take a look at what it is we have going on. This presentation on my end is literally, with no exaggeration, is going to take about 15 minutes. Well, we probably be here for about an hour and a half because you guys are going to be asking questions, intrigued. Everywhere I go, it's the same thing. My part is quick, straight to the point, we're finished, but then there's more people want to know. They're really blown away by what it is they had a chance to see. I'm going to get us started by going into the information. When I saw this, I've been a businessman now since I got out of the U.S. Navy in 1994. I've never had to go on anyone's job. I've been blessed to where I've been able to provide for my wife and 4 kids. My wife has not had to work in over 25 years. She works now kind of running the company for me when I'm gone and different things, but she's been free. And with us being able to do this, I've always been on the look for businesses. I love investments. I love, just things that are new. But when I was invited to take a look at this particular concept, Mr. Larry, when I first saw it, I said to myself, I'm in the wrong meeting. There's no way they should have invited me to take a look at a sanitary napkin. And when I'm serious, I was about to get up and walk out. But I'm the type of guy, I'm always open. So I said, my curiosity got the best of me. I said, let me see what these guys have here, because I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a man in this room right now and you got excited because I took a sanitary napkin. Now, something wrong with you, brother. Something really wrong with you. You got excited because you saw this, because I didn't. And I really was, like I said, about to leave. But ladies, tell me what you immediately noticed about this pad. It's thin. That's what you all say all around the world. We've been all over the globe doing these presentations. I'm talking about Jamaica, Trinidad, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, Virgin Islands, you name it. And everybody says it unanimously. Now, if we had enough time and we were closer, I would literally have you guys come up where you can feel the texture of the product. Most women immediately, when they feel the texture of the product, they know it's a game changer. How soft it is and how it feels. In fact, young lady, you close, so you need to come on. Come right here and feel this to everybody. So you can be the hands for everybody. How does that feel?
It's very soft.
It is very soft.
Pass one around.
Pass one around? No, come on up here and touch it real quick. Come touch it right quick since you won't pass it around. Come on. Come on, I'm not to work with hecklers. I've been doing this a long time. So how that feels to you?
It is soft.
It is soft. So that's the first thing where people know that it's a game changer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 50 milliliters and pour into this beaker right here, right? Now the reason why we use 50 milliliters is because we found out from our medical advisory board that the average young girl or woman, when they're on their cycle, they give off anywhere from 15 to 50 milliliters on average per day. Now, ladies, we don't have to get in the debate. We already know some women are more because they have a heavier flow. But they're just saying that average is 15 to 50 milliliters. I'm going to take these 50 milliliters here and I'm going to pour it into the pad. Okay? Now, this is a lot of fluid to be going into this pad at one time. A woman would have probably changed by now. We also found out that the average woman changes 5 to 7 times per day on average. That's a minimum that they do throughout the day. But here's the big issue, here's the big problem. The problem is the fact that your daughter, your granddaughter, maybe you, your mother, your sister, your aunt, they're wet. And I want you to hear where we're going. When these young girls and these women are wet throughout the day, your body is 98.7 degrees by nature, so it's like a little warm oven. I want you to hear this. And now you have bacteria as well. So what you basically have created is a recipe for disaster. So now a lot of these yeast infections, urinary tract infections, guys, even leading to things that women have been challenged with, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer. Do you all know some of this stuff can be avoided? And I'm talking about, do your third-party research. There's times more poisonous than cyanide. Dioxin has been linked to breast cancer. One of the ways they've been realizing dioxin has been getting into women's bodies is from a lot of the sanitary napkins and tampons that they've been using. See, in other words, what I'm saying is, guys, it's having a devastating effect on women all over the world. Now, the technology you're about to see demonstrated, we have 4 variations of this technology. As you guys can see, a lot of it is already up here in terms of our panty liners, our moderate flow pads, our heavy flow pads, and then our super heavy flow pads that we have here. So the product is for sale today. So you need to get with Brother Larry, Miss Tabita, before you leave here, and don't leave without something for you or either a woman in your life or a young girl that you love or care about, so now she can get an experience with our product. Now here's what we're going to do. How many milliliters did I pour in the pad? 50. Look at my heckler up front, 50. You ready? I want you, I'm just kidding, sweetie. I want you to see this. I like to have fun. This is a red napkin, and the reason why I'm using a red napkin, because I don't want anybody to have any problems. Come on up here, heckler, come back. I'll sit on the front row and give me some trouble. I want you to press down on it. Put some pressure, because you're from Detroit. They're not going to believe you. You put some pressure? She's shaking the table. All right? That's good. Look what we come up with. Look what we come up with after 50 milliliters, poured on it, and the heckler rubbed it back. Not me. So nobody has to accuse, oh, he has a trip napkin or anything. When I saw this, I already knew we had a game changer for women and young girls everywhere. Because now if you was able to solve the problem to keep them comfortable and dry, I want you all to hear this. Guys, I've been around rich, I've been around poor, I've been around white, black, Muslim, Indian, Jew, Christian, it doesn't matter. You know what I've discovered? That as long as a woman can be comfortable and dry during that time of month, that's what they look for. And that's been the solution that we've been able to offer. Now, before we wrap up, we got two more things to show you. Now, after pouring 50 milliliters, I'm going to take this cup, halfway full. I'm going to take our absorbency system that's inside of our product, and I want you to try this with your product at home and see if you get the same results, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the inside of our absorbency system here, and I'm going to place it inside. Our top layer also is breathable and has holes, as well as our exterior of our product. It also has microfiber holes in it. Do anybody know why that's there? Breathability. Because here's what's going on that many of you all may not realize. Your granddaughter, your daughter, your mother, your sister, your wife, your aunt, your niece. When her body is 98.7 degrees, when that bacteria is down there, that moisture, the brunt of everything is going back to that young lady's body. Now, with the breathability, there is some escape now of some of the moisture and different things that exist. Her body is not taking it. I want you to think about it. Do you guys know what would happen if you was to literally open up your windows, right? And you let water in, heat, moisture from the outside, and then you seal your home, and you don't open it for 6 months. You know what's going to happen? Moisture is going to develop on the walls, called mold. It's going to begin to now affect the house and you. That's what happens with young girls' bodies, literally on a monthly basis, because everything is locked in and going back to her. Now, here we go. I poured 50 milliliters on the pad. The young lady pressed the pad. The napkin came up dry. I took a cup of water. I filled it halfway. I took our absorbency system. I placed it in a cup. Now here's the question. What happened to the water? We've literally taken a liquid and we've turned it to a gel. And if you touch it, you're going to also notice, come here, heckler, and dig in. You ready? You're going to notice that it's cool. Ladies, do you know why the product is cool and we designed it that way? Because we've discovered that when young girls and women are on their cycles, your body is running hotter than normal. So now what we've done is, it's almost like a little air conditioner down there. So it's cooling you off in the process as well. But I have one more thing to show you, and I'm done. The new technology that we have infused into our Jewel sanitary napkins is called graphene. For you guys that don't know what graphene is, the two gentlemen that discovered graphene in 2004, they won the Nobel Prize in 2010 for graphene. So for all the people that want to ask 1,000,001 questions and what the doctors got to say, and is it healthy? Well, first of all, you can't win the Nobel Prize for anything that would endanger mankind. Dr. Martin Luther King, he won the Nobel Prize for peace. So it's a very prestigious award. It is one of the most prestigious awards a human being can win. When you do your own independent research on graphene, The reason why we put it in the sanitary napkin is for this reason. Number one, it helps with dysmenorrhea, bad abdominal cramping and pain. It helps kill bacteria. Graphene is a 99.9% bacteria killer. Basically, graphene and bacteria can't coexist. In other words, anytime a bacteria atom makes its way into the vicinity of graphene, graphene has little blades on the end of it, on the atom, it slices it in half. Okay? Graphene helps with inflammation. It helps with fatigue. It helps with your metabolism, your immune system. For the elderly in here, it helps with hormone secretion. It also helps move heat away from your core, aka hot flashes. It helps with those things. These are some of the attributes of graphene and why we want it infused into our product. But one of the main components that you're about to see is graphene contains what's called vibrational energy. It's always alive. Graphene is not electricity. It has nothing to do with electricity. Samsung right now, they're coming out with a graphene charger, right? There won't be any more plugs, no electricity, Larry. All you would have to do is sit your phone on the graphene charger, and within 5 minutes your phone will be charged. Ford Motor Company, they literally have graphene now infused into the Mustangs. Myself, General Charles Watson, we were at a graphene summit in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. I had the privilege of speaking with Senator Trent Lott, as well as the senator from Mississippi, Senator Wicker, and it was all on graphene. But Don, they was blown away the fact that we took something so highly technical and we placed it in the sanitary napkin. Because right now, NASA is looking to use it in spaceships, and Ford is putting it in cars, and the Department of Defense want to use it for different things, but they couldn't believe the simplicity of what we've done in terms of this material that's set to revolutionize the world. Now, we're about to show you an example of the actual vibrational energy of graphene. Here's what I'm about to show you. This is the strip that's infused into all of our Jewel sanitary napkins. I want you to feel it. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're not shocked or anything. Nothing happened to you, right? You're still alive? Okay. We didn't have to call the ambulance for nobody. Huh? You good to go? You know why I had these ladies touch it? Nothing's wrong with nobody. They weren't shocked. Nothing happened to them. This is a 7-watt light bulb. Now I want you to understand something about this light bulb. It's a very low frequency, low energy light bulb. It's not a traditional light bulb that's usually a 40, 60 watt light bulb. Okay? Any source of energy can light this light bulb. Literally, your hands, if you rub your hands long enough in your body, you get moving, you can trigger this light bulb because you are made of energy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this light bulb and I'm going to put it on our graphene infused strip. And for y'all sitting in the back right there, you may want to stand up for this one little piece because I don't want you to miss it. These two lovely ladies back there. You ready? I want you to see this. Don't ask me, it's electricity. Will that shock me? Is that good for me? Well, you've already touched it and nothing happened to it. In other words, I'm showing you now how we've literally brought the future to sanitary napkins. I want you guys to understand, we already know that we have a game changer. The vibrational energy of graphene is designed to change women's cycles forever. The testimonies have already been coming in from the product. Women are blown away by the experience they're having. Many women are already testifying that their cycles have been shortened. Where they were 7 to 10 days, they're down to 2 to 3 days now. From the product, from them being able to use it having a better experience because we don't have the chemicalization like most of the products of the sanitary napkins and tampons that's on the shelf. On that note, guys, my portion is done. I'm opening the floor for any questions, concerns, comments that any individual may have. The floor is yours now. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, young lady.
I'd like to know how long this particular product has been on the market, and if you have any feedback for the last maybe 10 years of the results of the product.
The young lady just asked, you want to know how long this product has been on the market. Well, first of all, graphene-infused sanitary napkins have been on the market now for 3 years. Leading where it's at, India, the UK, we're the first company to bring the product to North America, basically this side of the world. Graphene commercially is fairly new to the world, right? It's been studied by doctors and physicists and scientists, no harmful effects, no known radioactive components, none of that to it. Remember, the gentleman who discovered it won the Nobel Prize. So obviously, there was some extensive research done on it. But the product that we're aware of has been around for over a little over 3 years with graphene-infused sanitary napkins. Yes, ma'am.
What are the side effects?
There is none that we know of. Zero. None. Because remember, let me add this to say the side effects. Graphene is not a made-up product. Graphene is a natural product that comes from carbon. It's a carbon-based product. So anywhere carbon is found, graphene can be formulated. Graphene is coming from your body because when you breathe in oxygen, you breathe out what? Carbon dioxide. So right now, NASA is doing research on the International Space Station on how to extract graphene from the breath of astronauts. That's how serious it is in reference to it. So in your fats, your proteins, everything in your body, it's carbon infused. So graphene is extracted from carbon.
I'm talking about in general, the task itself, not just the graphene, but the side effects in general form. Okay.
Zero. Zero. None. Yes, sir, brother.
Is that red napkin waterproof?
Is it waterproof?
Yeah.
Give me some water.
Give me some water.
Give me some water.
You got water up there?
Oh, hold on. The brother asked, is it waterproof? He's the first person to ever do that. You ready? You know, I love y'all, Detroit. Now you tell me, is it waterproof?
Is there a little button on the light bulb?
He says a button on the light bulb. What else you want, man? No, there's no button on it.
No button on the light bulb.
No.
Listen, I just wanted to say you did a really, really great presentation. I wasn't even supposed to be here. I didn't know anything about this. And Tabita.
Great,
I
man.
didn't want to mess your name up. She saw me out there and invited me in. And I was like, all right, I'll come in. You know, so I'm here. And I'm actually blown away. I don't use sanitary napkins, but
I don't either.
But I'm blown away. I was a massage therapist for 25 years. And I'm kind of a little bit familiar with graphene. Because of the uses of stones and different natural stones and things like that. And so I'm a little blown away by this presentation, and you did an excellent job. And so,
Thank you, man.
I just want to say, you're inspired. We kind of almost look alike, so I can do this.
Well, you look a little smooth. Let me say this real quick, and then I'm going to get y'all a question. Let me address what he said, coming from a male perspective. Let me tell you guys something. First of all, when I first saw it, I would be lying to you guys if I tell you all I saw the business opportunity at first. I didn't. The first thing I immediately saw was my wife and my kids. I didn't see a business opportunity. See, I'm the type of father and protector and provider. Anything that I know could potentially harm my wife and my kids, I want to get in the way of. So that's where I see the selfishness of really, I'm going to be honest now, and I hope ladies don't get mad with me. I see this more from ladies than I do men. We get more resistance from women than we do men. We have more men that's ambassadors of this product than we do women. I don't know why. I don't understand the effect of this, But it blows me away because I'm saying to myself, ladies, y'all know what y'all go through on a monthly basis or what you went through. But it looks like when a woman gets past this phase in her life, she don't care anything else about those coming behind her. See, for me, it was a difference. I'm saying, hold on. If my wife and kids could have a better experience monthly for something that's got to happen for them anyway, then this is all I want them to use. And my thing that I'm saying to everybody, listen, we're not here to get you to join forces with us. Guys, we're doing well whether you join forces with us or not. We're going to become $1 billion company in 5 years. Mm-hmm. What we're here saying is, listen, make a woman aware or get a pack or two for that daughter, granddaughter, somebody you know in your life to say, listen, I want you to use this or try this because I think what it costs, their life is worth it. And that's the perspective I come from more than anything else as a man. Yes, ma'am.
I got 2 questions. One is it FDA approved?
Listen to what that young lady said. You ready? Is it FDA approved? Well, first of all, the FDA doesn't approve fake sanitary napkins. There's no FDA approval required for sanitary napkins. But let me go here in terms of the FDA. First of all, an FDA approval wouldn't make me feel good. Because how many of y'all saw the commercials? If you lost your leg or you lost your ear because of the drug such and such, the FDA approved drug. So the FDA approval really doesn't say anything to me. But here's the next step I want to share with the young lady. We have applied to be FDA registered. Now let me show you the difference in that. With you being FDA registered, the reason why we are is because it allows our product to come into the country more smoothly. Really, it's a way that the FDA tax you to allow your product in a lot easier. So right now, sanitary napkins are declared a medical device. So we've applied for our FDA registration. So we'll be getting that number soon. So being FDA registered is where we are, but there's no requirement to be FDA approved in terms of sanitary napkins. They don't approve it.
Well, I'm just concerned that if there was a recall for some sort, it has to be, you have to be registered somehow. So, because if I just use that and there's no way for me to know that it's been recalled, it's through the FDA, and they're the ones that send it out so everyone knows whether or not it needs to be.
Yes, ma'am, but we will be registered. So they don't prove it, but we will be registered with them. When we register, we'll put that number out there so people will be able to freely go look and see that we're registered. Now, here's the thing as well. Now, the FDA did inspect our product. You don't need to approve it because remember, it comes through them. They have to clear it to allow it in the country. We pass for flying colors in terms of the actual approval to enter into the country because they look for things like, is it scented? All those different factors, and there's no scents or perfumes or any of that inside of our product. So we pass their inspection in terms of inspecting the product.
Right.
Over here, yes, sir, go second question.
How many sanitary napkins come in one package?
Well, they vary. Panty liners, you have 30. Okay? In the moderate flow, you have 10. In the night, you have 8. In the quote-unquote super heavy flow overnight, you need 7. I already know what y'all saying. I done this 1,000 times, ladies. Oh, that ain't enough. Stop. Let me tell you why. You used to buying 30 and 25, 28 in terms of what you usually buy from Walmart, CVS, wherever you get them from. But let me share something with you. Did you know that there were chemicals, or there are chemicals in a lot of their products to make you bleed more? Do you know why they want you bleeding more? So you can buy more. With our product, you're going to find that you're not going to use as much as you're usually accustomed to. We had a testimony yesterday in Gary, Indiana. The young lady said she had to wear tampons as well as big sanitary napkins to hold her. She said she had to change every 30 minutes with a tampon every day on her cycle. You ready for this? She says with our product, no tampon, just a super heavy flow once every 5 hours now. That's her testimony that she gave us just yesterday in Gary, Indiana. When you try our product, you're going to totally see the difference you don't need as much. A lot of the pains and cramping for a lot of individuals, these are their testimonies, are gone, or they're less. So guess what else you just eliminated now? The medication that most women are accustomed to using during that time of life. And if somebody else, I saw hands everywhere. Yes, ma'am.
How much is that gonna be affordable, and how much is it gonna be like 10, 15 for a pack, or?
No, this one of our packs of product costs $25. That's all. No, I'm just playing, bro. No, I'm playing. Y'all ready? Larry, what's your product going for? $8.
Wow.
$8 per pack. That's it. For a Nobel Prize infused solution into a sanitary napkin. And I honestly know that once you get this product from Larry to Beta, you ain't gonna be using nothing else. Period. Yes, sir, my brother.
What's your BBB rating?
Be Better Business Bureau?
Yeah.
Well, we brand new, brother, so we haven't had any complaints or anything. We just launched on June 1st. So we have no complaints as of yet. Zero. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
As far as what material do you use, cotton or?
It's a non-woven cotton blend that we have in terms of our product. And let me tell you why we went with that. Well, most people don't know that we did. We did a literal feasibility study before we even launched the product. So we had women tell us what to do, right? So now, you know, women always, you know, I want 100% cotton. So what we did was we presented a 100% cotton version and we presented a woven blend version. Guess which one beat out the 100%? Because nobody knew. They didn't know. It was survey 1, survey 2. Guess what one had the most complaints? The cotton. This not absorbing. It's irritating. This was the 100% cotton. So a lot of times, most people don't even know what they're asking for. We already had a solution with the blend we had, but we wanted them to tell us. So now we got data to support that the non-woven blend, hands down, beat up the 100% cotton that most women think they want because it sounds good, it sounds awesome, but it doesn't perform well. And it causes a lot of issues with it.
I had to convert from regular always and all of that to 100% cotton because those products give you rashes and infections. So I converted to 100% cotton. So I have interest in your product.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, for having that interest. Hands up, I saw some other hands.
Over here.
Go ahead.
Where can someone buy it?
Where can someone buy it?
Right here.
Two places. Right here. Today, Tabitha and Larry, raise your hands. These two young ladies right here, a distributor, you know what I'm about to tell you, they have websites. You can go to their personal websites to get it, or you can personally get it from them as well. So you're able to do it in two formats. A lot of people buy it from distributors that they know have it, or people just go online to their websites, and as a company, we ship it straight to your front door in reference to whatever website you purchase it through. This young lady, then you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Do you have future endeavors of putting it in stores locally for the masses? And secondly, are you thinking about going on Shark Tank?
Well, let me say this. The young lady said, are we interested in going to stores? Let me answer this the right way. We really don't, I'm not in favor of really going to a lot of the big box stores. Let me tell you why. If we go into the big box stores, it's going to take money away from the distributors. See, I wanted the money to stay in people's communities.
Right.
We got a product that none of them have. So now I don't want to turn over the keys to them. As a company, we win, y'all lose. Now what we are looking to do is have our own stores. So there's a blueprint that I have to do 50 to 100 stores strategically around the United States within the next 7 years. And I'm talking about upscale stores. Like I just left Chicago. When I was in Chicago, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with what is called the Gold Coast and
Michigan.
What is what's the mile called? Miracle Mile?
Magnificent.
Magnificent Mile. That's where I was. I was literally down there looking at storefront property because we're going to be in upscale areas in terms of this product because this technology, I was also a co-owner of another company that had the technology, not graphene, the same concept of this product. And I put a boutique store in Jamaica, in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm talking about sofas, waterfalls, cucumber water. It was next level to where it was one of the, and I'm talking about these according to the locals, we had one of the best stores in the whole country of Jamaica. So the stores are going to be upscale because what we want to do is bring luxury back to that time of month for women to show them it doesn't have to be as miserable as it's displayed to be. It's just that women are not educated on certain things they need to know in reference to having a more comfortable experience during that time of month. Somebody else had their hand right there. Yes, ma'am.
As a new distributor, what can I expect in terms of support? Like, are you going to come and speak to my group of people about the product, or am I going to say that, or how is that going to work?
The young lady's asking about support as being a new distributor. Let me say this to you. Whoever you're going to be working with, number one, that's always going to be your number one resource. I was in this area because it's the thing. I don't want to overcommit and lie to you and tell you I'm going to always be available. Because I'm always, not only as I'm moving around the country doing this, there's just other endeavors on the corporate side that I'm doing and building. So I don't want you to think if something has been set up based upon me and I can't make it, or he lied. He said in front of the stage and told me he would be there for me. Now, for his phone calls, for his anything like that, I got your back on everything I can do. And even coming, but you need to understand that it will be based upon the availability of when I can and how I can, versus me making that commitment to say, I got your back, you'll never have to worry about it when we set something up, because I want to be honest with you. Because, for example, like right now, my entire June and half of my July is already booked up in terms of events, meetings, things I have to do. So I just want you to understand that process. But yes, in terms of support, we have conference calls for our distributors. And also, for anyone that's a distributor or want to be one of our distributors, on Facebook, we have a private group, and it's 6 stars, the number 6, the word star. You can send us an approval, we'll accept you. Inside the group, we have our own community of conversations, events, what's going on, videos that we put in there, information on graphene. So it's an educational platform that we use. But yes, we're here to support you, and I'll be as much as possible. And when available, I'll be also to help present to you. Yes, ma'am.
How do you become a distributor? Only on Facebook? Or?
No, you just, and with the person that invited you here. To become a distributor, young ladies asking, you ready? It's $50 per year. $50 per year, once a year, you're able to be a distributor with us, to where now, not only could you use the product, individuals can come and buy the product from you, and the commissions will go into your household now. So it's $50 to become a distributor.
So does that $50 include the website access?
Website, back office, everything, because you don't have to track anything, the system tracks it for you. So you would create your own login information that only you would know. You would be able to go on, you can see your commissions, you can see your customers, you can see everything.
Okay, so your customers go through like
your website.
You have, okay, so you have your own personal website, like
That's
your
No, you would have your website, and your website is what you would give to your customers, and they will go to your website to purchase. We ship it straight to their front door, and we send the commissions to you.
Oh, so you guys set up the website and everything?
No, the website's set up. Once you register, your website is immediate.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's immediate.
I'm like, who up to the website?
No, you don't have to set a website up. No, as soon as you register, within 2 to 3 minutes, your site is live. It's up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already done. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have tampons and pads?
No, the young lady asked about tampons. We will never, no, I'm saying to you, we will never, ever, ever have tampons. Tampons are one of the most dangerous things a woman can put in her body. And actually, our campaign, our educational platform, you can go to jfmj.org. If you go to that on our website, jfmj.org, that is our educational platform. And we educate young girls and women about tampons, because tampons literally act as a plug from something that's supposed to naturally flow out of a woman. So you're literally locking the toxins back into your body. That's where TSX comes from, toxic shock syndrome. That's why a lot of women are having miscarriages and different things that can be avoided is because of the toxicity that's in their body. It's killing the child and their seeds because a lot of them are locked up because of tampons.
So as far as heavy bleeders, how soon would they see results in their flow?
It determines. We can't speak on that because everybody's body is different. But here's what I can say to you guys. What we do ask for, when you transition to our product, we ask that you give us 90 days, 3 cycles. Let me tell you why. One of the things that's going to happen, you're going to notice, you're probably going to have a lot that comes out of you. You know why? Your body's detoxifying. So we've had those testimonies where there have been some women, they have flowed heavier than they usually would flow, and then they would tell us, oh my goodness, my next cycle, my cycle after that, it's normal now. So we've literally had women, we've had these testimonies, who will bleed 20 days out of the month. That's down to 3 to 5 days using our product. So what we say to every woman, try it and get your own experience and you tell us. And I think $8 is worth your life or a comfortable cycle for you to find out if the product actually works or not. I saw hands, more hands up. Yes, ma'am.
Have you presented your products to doctors and OBGYN doctors and nurses?
We have several doctors that's on our board that are OBGYN surgeons. One is Dr. Tyrone Malloy in Atlanta. We have Dr. Emma Yagorji, who's out of Houston, Texas. She was the president of the Nigerian Medical Council, and she also speaks at the United Nations. So we got quite a few doctors that have been involved and nurse practitioners that are involved with us with the product.
I keep hearing you saying that it's coming into this country. Is it coming from Africa?
No. We have to tell you that we have to kill them. No, I'm just playing. In terms of our product, no, it comes from overseas because there is no one in the United States or North America that even has the capability to make this, to design it. So there's only 2 places in the world that make it. Good luck on trying to find them. And not only when you find them, they have to also be FDA registered and approved facilities. They have to have it in order for you to even get the product in. And if it's not, if you was to be lucky enough to maybe find someone who can do it, they would have to go through that process as well. So we have relationships with both of them, but it's one in particular that we saw their product was just a little more superior than the other one, and that's the one that we use. So we pay a little higher amount. It's more expensive, but it's worth it long term because we want the best quality that we can offer to them. Yes, ma'am.
So the cost for the product, what about the taxes? Is that going to be assessed to the customer or to the distributor?
Well, when you buy for $8 from one of these distributors, you're not paying anything. That's $8 straight to you. When you buy online, you're pretty much going to be saying the same. Actually, you may pay $1 more if you go online and get it because then we have to assess the tax and everything. Because the distributor who got the product here, they've already paid the tax in terms of their product. So that's why they're $8, which is fair. Really, they should be between $8 and $10 because they're eating the taxes and the shipping to get the product here. That's a cost that's being offset to them. So even being $8, if they selling it to you for that, they really must like you because they kind of almost break it even at $8.
Okay, what is the turnaround time to get the product?
3 to 5 days when you order online. Order online, 3 to 5 days you would have from the time that you order. And that's inclusive of weekends and stuff as well, because usually on Fridays and some Saturdays, the corporate staff at the warehouse, they will ship out to get it to you. Anybody else?
Okay, I have one more.
Go ahead.
Who's your competitor?
Who's our competitor? Right now, nobody.
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 One has a comparable product.
Only one we have is actually, to be honest with you, good question this young lady asked. The former company I was invested in a partner in. They're not in our league, but they have the technology for as the dry effect. They don't have graphene. They don't have the graphene in it. But then here's where I say we're superior even to them. Because now And this is where 4 men, we were dummies. Let me tell you why. Because it was 4 men who was dealing with a product with women, and we never talked to no women. We just were so happy because of the concept. We running and gunning, selling the product, and now, dummies, why you didn't talk to the women who have to wear it? Because guess what was wrong with it? It wasn't wide enough. It wasn't long enough. We didn't have enough tape. We didn't have lead guards on the side. We didn't have any of that. So the product, even in that state, where it wasn't up to par, we still did $8 million in 2 years doing it the wrong way. So now can you imagine what we're going to do now that we got it right? So now on this move, I have no more partners. I'm soloing by myself, and I was able to improve on what was wrong with the other product we had. So that will be the closest competition we will remotely be able to have. Yes, ma'am.
Do you hold the trademark or patent for this?
The manufacturer owns it. So you have to literally have an agreement. We have an agreement with them to be able to supply. So no one else can get it from them, from the one that we use, because we have the license agreement for the North American territory. Anybody else?
As far as distributors, can the distributors buy stock into what they invest in?
Well, right now we don't have stock. We're not, open for stock right now. We're privately owned because obviously, once you start opening up to the SEC, now it's a more stringent process. But right now we're privately owned. Somebody over here at the hand up. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Where do you see your company going as far as just outside of the plant, merging into something with the first 5 years and said, men who have problems or women who have problems, they're no longer having a cycle.
The brother asked, basically, what else are we looking to evolve in?
Correct.
Outside of products? Great question. Well, let me give you some of those things right now. We are right now, currently, we're looking into depends for the elderly with this technology. Okay? We're also looking into when individuals have surgery and the mats that they're placed on in hospitals, we're looking to that technology. When individuals have plastic surgery, I didn't know this, I found this out from a plastic surgeon, that they leak. And the fluids that leak out of them, literally, when a person has plastic surgery, they have to literally lay down this certain paper in their house, on their carpets and everything, because as they're moving around, going to the bathroom, going to the kitchen, they're still leaking. And it's a fluid that's slippery that can cause damage, so they love the technology of the absorbency. But here's also where we're looking to go. I didn't realize that dogs have cycles. So your little chihuahua gonna be running around with a jewel pad on. So we're looking to get into pads also for pets as well. So these are some of the things right now that's in front of us on the table. But our priority is get this right first, in terms of being able to ship, inventory, and everything that's needed. Some more hands. I saw someone. That was it? Yes, ma'am.
I came in a little late. I apologize.
Well, we know this, but go ahead.
But you mentioned the word
Graphene.
Graphene.
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
Graphene is a carbon-based element. That's where it's infused from. Graphene comes from also graphite. Okay, if it's 10 atoms or less in terms of layers, it's considered graphene. Once it crosses over 10 atoms thick or 10 layers thick, it's considered graphite. Okay, so graphene, as I said, is natural element from carbon, and the two gentlemen that discovered it, they won the Nobel Prize in 2010 for introducing graphene to the world. That was abstracted from a carbon-based element.
So how does graphene help the
So I got to do a whole presentation over again. No, listen. No, it helps with dysmenorrhea, which is bad abdominal pain and cramps. It helps with inflammation. It helps move heat away from your core. It helps with your immune system. It helps with inflammation. It helps with your metabolism. It helps with hormone secretion. These are some of the attributes of having graphene in the sanitary napkin. But I implore you to do your own independent research on graphene, and when you find out about it, you're going to be blown away. Anybody else?
I asked for the young ladies.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes, sir, my brother.
I'm just gonna say, bro, you're an excellent human being. You give a lot of information in a little bit of time. You're spot on. The way you interact with people and everything, I'm really touched and humbled with what it is that you're doing. I wish you all the success in the world. I know it's not easy, right? The better you try to be in this world, the more you get scrutinized,
absolutely,
and tore apart, and you're solid.
I agree.
No, I appreciate that, brother. Let me say this is what he's saying. And he's right on. Let me tell you why. Because I've been on radio shows, and I've had women to call into the radio show, Ms. Captain. And women beating me up on the air for talking about the health and awareness of sanitary napkins. You're a man. What are you doing talking about this? Why are you doing? Hold on. First of all, I'm not stopping a woman from doing this. But you got to realize I found something that I became passionate about. Because I want you guys to hear this. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, I've been an entrepreneur since 1994. I've done anything you can name under the sun. I've sold t-shirts by the New Orleans Superdome. I'm from New Orleans. When you was going to the Saints game, I was a guy under the bridge. I was selling you t-shirts. I've had a mobile detailing service. I used to wash cars. I've flipped houses. I've done loans. I've promoted concerts. I sold Rolex watches. I mean, I used to be the little bootleg lawyer. When people get in accidents, I knew how to settle cases. They would call me instead of the lawyer. These are all the things I did to feed my family. But here's where I'm going. Every business endeavor I've ever done, to me, I did it for money. I ain't do nothing to save the world. I wasn't trying to help the community. I was trying to provide for my family. This is the first time in my life that I've done something where money has taken a back seat. And the reason why it takes a back seat, and the reason why it keeps me fueled, because when you get people coming up to you in the airport that you don't know, they're crying, telling you their testimony of how your product has helped change their life. When I'm getting people coming up to me, I'm in Florida in a Walmart, and a lady sees me on the aisle and say, "Oh my goodness, the pad man." That's what she called me. She said, "I saw your video, and your video, because of your video, you helped me understand things." And see, in other words, that's priceless. Because now, what most people don't understand is that it's really spiritual what we up against. And I want you guys to go onto YouTube. And I don't know if anybody in here knows who Dr. Jamal Bryant is. Well, if you know who Jamal Bryant is, you can go to YouTube. He interviewed me on his show on the Word Network. You can look up Jamal Bryant and Damon Crump. And one of the things I shared with him on that video was, I said, "Dr. Bryant, it's spiritual what we're dealing with," and I said, "I'm going to prove it to you." The prefix pharma, for example, P-H-A-R-M-A, pharmacy, pharmaceuticals. It comes from the Greek word, which means witchcraft or sorcery. What most people don't know is a lot of the companies that own and are invested in the sanitary napkins and the tampons, guess what else they own? The medication, the pharmaceuticals. So now, you having an unhealthy cycle is beneficial to them. Because now, when you get yeast infections and you got to go get a prescription for diflucan to clear it up, they win. When you having your cramps every single month, they win. When you got to get the ibuprofen, the Midol, and the 800 milligram Tylenol, and your child balled up and cramped and in the ball can't go to school vomiting, they win. See, in other words, what I'm saying is we're cutting that aspect off by saying, no, you don't have to go through that. So for me, my point I'm making is it's a bigger purpose and a bigger call, And the money has been coming anyway without me trying. Because I really do it from my heart. Every city I go into, these individuals that invited me, Larry and Tabitha, and I'm right here. I put them on the spot. They didn't give me a dime to come in. They didn't pay for my food. They didn't pay for my hotel. They didn't pay for anything. I come on my own dime because I really believe in helping change the world one woman at a time. If I was able to help your daughter or your granddaughter have a better experience, that's what it means to me. The most powerful testimony that I've ever received about this product, it didn't come from a woman, it came from a man. And when I saw this guy walking up to give a testimony, I thought it was kind of weird. I said, brother, I know you ain't used these bags. Please don't tell me about to testify about these bags. I got nerves. But when the man came up, he was a pastor. And the man began to cry before he began to speak. He said, let me tell y'all something. He said, the reason why I'm so involved with this campaign and these products, he said, because I watch my granddaughter. He says every time she had her cycle, her first 2 to 3 days, first few days of that cycle, this baby can't walk. She's in a ball. She can't go to school. She's vomiting. She's got bad abdominal cramps. And I got to sit there and hold my granddaughter. And all I can do is rub her because as her grandfather, there's nothing I can do to help her. He says, but when she started using the product, everything in her life changed. Now she's normal. She said, now you can't tell when she's on her cycle. See, it was his love for that child that made the difference. That went beyond money. And see, these are the type of things that many of you guys don't know that I know that keeps me fueled and keep me going in terms of this product. And we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Anybody else? I told you we're going to be an hour and a half. It's going to be on y'all. Rest anybody else? Well, now, guys, I want to bring Larry and Tabitha back up to the front of the room. Let's give it up to the hosts that made this happen here on tonight. Guys, they have product for sale. They invited you. I pray that you definitely find it worthy to spend $8 to make an investment in a woman in your life that you love, care about. So, Brother Larry, take it away, man.
Okay, well, we appreciate you guys coming out, and this is really my first experience with mine here in Detroit. And one of the things he didn't tell you about the carbon is about the graphene is 1 atom thick typically, right? And it's the most flexible as well as the strongest material known to man. It's 10 times stronger than steel.
200 times.
Thank you. So one of the things you talked about was the pads. One of the things you might be doing down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know you guys at nursing homes, you know, they putting people on those beds and that stuff. They get those bed sores and things like that. This has got to be a game changer for something like that. So we got the product over here. If you want something you're interested in, we got it. If you want to sign up, probably have it. If you want to do some research, get our number and we can talk later. But thanks again for coming out.
Thank you. I like to say thank you as well. When we talk about the sanitary pad being used in Depends, I have a family member that uses Depends. And she places the pad in her Depends because you know if a woman gets wet in Depends, she got to throw those away, change, she might be out in public. But what this pad does, it keeps her completely dry. So I want to thank you. You can see Mr. Larry, myself, Laura back there. We're all ambassadors for the product. This young lady here, she was there. We had a great time. Thank you again, and we love you.